An underrated man turns out to be the strongest superhero. In a world filled with crime and powerful heroes, chaos is always on the brink. The story starts with a monster appearing in a place called A City. It defeats Lightning Max and Smile Man, who are both heroes. A reporter suddenly gets cut out, and a bald man known as Saitama goes to the site of the attack. As the monster begins to attack a young girl, Saitama comes in and saves her. The villain turns out to be a villain called Vaccine Man, and he introduces himself. But Saitama waves his arm and kills the monster in one single punch. We're then taken to the past where Saitama had hair and he wasn't a hero. Being unemployed, he was moving through the city where he encountered Crablante, a huge man who became a crab-like monster after eating a lot of crabs. However, Crablante decides to leave since he was looking at a kid with a double chin. Now, Saitama sees the double chin kid and decides to help him by ripping the monster's eyeball out by choking him with his tie. After the past, we're taken once again into the future. Saitama wakes up in the next morning, right in the middle of an attack by subterranean people. Surprised by their power, Saitama challenges the Subterranean King in hopes of getting a great competition. However, he simply defeats him easily and is disappointed to an infinite end. In the Z City, we see Genos, a cyborg standing in a field full of decaying cow corpses. After waking up, Saitama waters his cactus, while suddenly on the TV, he hears the news that a huge swarm of mosquitoes is heading towards the Z City where he lives. Saitama tries to kill a mosquito, but ultimately fails to do that. We're then taken to an abandoned city where a looter who wants to earn some money gets his blood drained by a monster called Mosquito Girl. Genos, the half-human, half-machine, comes in. However, he's not affected by mosquitoes since he's a cyborg. Mosquito Girl gets angry and quickly powers up by taking the blood of every animal around her. Genos begins to struggle. However, Saitama interferes and quickly destroys the Mosquito Girl. A couple of days later, Genos knocks Saitama's door and tells him about his relationship with the mad cyborg who apparently destroyed Genos' family and home. After that, Saitama and Genos fight the armored gorilla and Saitama destroys his opponent. In the end, we see Dr. Genus stepping into a room full of his subordinates where he discusses the fate of the team in Z City. Now there's a narration which defines the story of Dr. Genus, a young and brilliant scientist who changed the world of artificial intelligence and cyborgs. Saitama quickly cuts off the narration, and Armored Gorilla explains that Dr. Genus is interested in experimenting on Saitama's body. Saitama sees a discount day notification and decides to leave. As Dr. Genus was preparing for Saitama's arrival, he unleashes his strongest trump card, the Carnage Kabuto. Kabuto gives Genos a very hard time, and as he tries to face Saitama, he quickly backs off, thinking how strong he really is. This is where Saitama reveals his secrets to becoming the strongest. He said he became this overpowered by doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 10 kilometers of running every single day. No one believed him, and as soon as Carnage Kabuto used his Carnage mode, Saitama punched him and destroyed the cyborg. Dr. Genus quickly abandons the place and realizes that he must invent something more powerful. The next day, we see Hammerhead, an overworked and underpaid model who wants to get his revenge against a rich man called Zeniru. Zeniru hires a special bodyguard called Speedo Sound Sonic, and he faces the bald group. He quickly destroys the group, and as Hammerhead runs towards the forest, he sees Saitama. As soon as he tries to attack Saitama, he gets destroyed by a single punch. As Sonic was witnessing the whole situation, their beef just became evident. Sonic was flexing his speeding skills while Saitama accidentally punched him in his crotch, which turned the tide of the battle. While meeting Genos at the home, Saitama asks Genos to leave him alone as nobody cares about his potential no matter how strong he really is. This is where Saitama and Genos finally get registered as heroes. Firstly, they have to pass the physical test, where Saitama surpasses everyone by lifting a heavy barbell with ease. However, in the written exam, he suffers and ultimately gets a C rank. On the other hand, Genos gets a perfect score and gets an S rank. Later in the class, their teacher named Snek gets annoyed by Saitama, who is not paying attention. After trying to teach him a lesson, he quickly embarrassed himself. We're then taken to the later part of the day, where Genos is testing his newest upgrades against Saitama. He also wants to test Saitama's real potential, and even though Genos is giving his best, Saitama is just playing around and getting bored. However, that's where Genos quickly realizes that Saitama is on a whole nother level. After their training, they go to an udon shop in an eating contest, where Genos easily won and Saitama had a lot of problems. Sweet Mask, an A-class rank 1 pro hero, comes to meet Genos and welcomes him to the team. The next day, we see Saitama dozing off, while Genos is studying every single inch of his body in order to understand what made him so strong. Genos tells Saitama that he will be kicked out if he's too inactive as a C-class hero, so they both quickly go on a patrol for 2 peaceful days. However, Speedo Sound Sonic comes in again to attack Saitama sneakily. However, Saitama quickly bites his sword away. In Z City, the 2 heroes are patrolling the streets, trying to find a crazy dangerous monster who lives in the area. They quickly encounter Kombu Infinity, who is quite a powerful monster. The 2 heroes, Golden Ball and Spring Mustachio, call for a backup. On the other hand, Saitama is making kombu soup in his home. Right before the kombu incident, scientists are busy understanding a weird flight pattern of a meteorite that passes over the Earth. However, it quickly changes its trajectory and comes to the Z City. A quick notice is sent to all the S-class heroes. However, Bang and Genos are the only ones to show up. Bang warns Genos about the threat that this meteor has. Genos then saves a lot of citizens and encounters Metal Knight, who was uninterested in teaming up with another hero. In the end, after failing to stop the celestial body from falling, Saitama comes in and smashes it in pieces, making everyone surprised to infinite ends. The next day, a sea folk messenger announces that all the sea monsters are coming to the surface to kill the humans. Saitama stops the messenger, and we're then introduced to Mumen Rider, who comes late on the site just to see the destroyed body of the messenger. Mumen Rider looks at Saitama on the internet just to find out that he's not surprising at all. In the J City, sea folk monsters are coming to destroy, and as the A-class hero Stinger challenges them, he is destroyed by the Sea King. Genos and Saitama decide to battle the Sea King. We are then introduced to Lightning Max, Puri Puri Prisoner, and Speedo Sound Sonic, who are all waiting to fight the Sea King. Sonic was going head-to-head with the Sea King until the rain unleashes his true form, and Sonic is forced to leave the site. Saitama and Mumen Rider meet each other on the way to fight. Mumen gets a call from the headquarters explaining the location of Sea King, and as soon as they go into the emergency shelter, they find out that the Sea King destroyed many heroes, including Snek. Saitama is confused about whether he should fight the Sea King or he should let the Hero Association decide. This is where Genos starts the fight, with a massive attack only to get one of his arms ripped off. He tells all the people to abandon the building since he's quite overpowered. The Sea King quickly spits his acid on a little girl, and Genos saves her. And in that moment when Genos was about to die, Mumen Rider comes in and fights the king. He easily gets defeated, but refuses to give up, and as soon as he passes out, Saitama catches Mumen Rider, and after a little bit of trash talking, Deep Sea King dies with a single punch of Saitama. Back at the home, Genos and Saitama receive 2 letters, where Genos gets a cute fan letter of appreciation, while Saitama gets a hate letter saying that he's a fraud. The episode then jumps to Sweet Mask, who gets the news that Saitama just moved up a rank. However, Sweet Mask doesn't care, and he's disappointed by all the A rank and S rank heroes. The episode ends with a special scene where Saitama is walking home at night and encounters Mumen Rider in the udon shop. Mumen Rider tells Saitama that he also sent him a letter saying thank you, and pays for his dinner. Elsewhere, a fortune teller named Shibabawa warns the official of a hero association that the Earth is doomed. The ancient king of the Lizard Clan appears, and Tatsumaki, an S-rank professional too, is sent to fight him. Tatsumaki uses her brilliant powers and sends a meteor from outer space to destroy the opponent. We're then taken to the Bang's dojo, where Bang tells Genos and Saitama about his past student named Garo, who defeated all of his other top students. Suddenly, the Hero Association staff member comes and tells that all the S-class heroes are called for an emergency meeting. On the way, Saitama meets Atomic Samurai, who appears to be a very arrogant S-class hero. Sitch, the member of the Hero Association, starts the meeting by telling them that their survival might not be possible as Madame Shibabawa, the fortune teller, died choking on a pill. He then goes on to mention that her predictions are 100% accurate all the time. She left a note saying the Earth is in trouble. Meanwhile, an alien spacecraft appears on the A City and destroys it. At the end, Boros, a one-eyed monster, is seen sitting on his throne. The heroes are fighting Melzargard, a general of the alien army, and as Boros walks in, another alien soldier named Gary Yugenschub warns him that a human is destroying the ship from the inside. Metal Bat quickly smacks the alien down as Saitama reaches another door. Every hero is fighting and trying to save the world, from Tatsumaki, Child Emperor, Genos, Bushi, Sitch, to Mumen Rider. Everyone is destroying the aliens. Finally, Saitama finds Boros, who quickly scans him, telling him that he's the strongest warrior on the Earth. Saitama punches Boros after being annoyed, but to his surprise, the alien survives. Boros and Saitama fight each other, which leads to Boros losing one of his arms. The fight still goes on, and it reaches the point where Saitama finds himself on the moon. However, just with a little power, he goes to the Earth. Melzargard is destroyed by Bang. Saitama realizes that Boros has regenerative powers, and no matter what he does, he would regenerate. The fight gets intense to a point where both fighters must use their strongest attacks. In the end, Saitama turns out to be the winner by using his serious punch and literally destroying Boros into pieces. On the other hand, Super Alloy Darkshine finds some alien survivors. Saitama comes from the ship just to be scolded by Tatsumaki. Genos calls Tatsumaki a brat, which quickly made her angry, and she destroyed Genos into pieces. Bang interrupts and saves the day. In the post-credits, we see Pluton, a dragon-level monster who appeared in the Z City. He causes a lot of destruction, but Saitama comes in and defeats him with just a single punch, making him the One Punch Man.